Keep on your toes,
tickling
sweetie.
me. Okay. Is this something that comes naturally to people? Being
No.
in deep, genuine Christian and deep and genuine community, and then on top of that, like as believers in a Christian context. Do either one of those, inside or outside the church, like is that happening? Is it easy? What do you think?
Happening, not most of the time. Is it easy? Definitely not if it's true and genuine. And I think it's kind of multiple fold in different ideas and concepts. Community is not supposed to be easy in the sense that we like things to be easy in life, but community is there to grow us and to help us and to build us into being who we need to become. And so I think that's partly why community is so important, but it's that our sin nature draws us out of it and can make it hard. And then even when we get in community, it's, whether it's our fear of man and not wanting to have hard conversations and not wanting to talk with people about the things that we need to talk with them about so we don't do community well, or we just flat out avoid community altogether. And so I think it can be difficult in many areas.
So what you're saying, what you just said, is that people don't want to be in community because they want to hold on to their sin.
Yep. Yep.
And they want to live their life the way they want to live it.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be accountable to other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's one reason.
Yeah.
I've talked about this with a lot of people about how when you're younger, you have these common places and activities that you're doing with the same group of people, like school or sports. And then once you leave college, that's gone. And so it's almost like no one taught us how to build friendships when we were younger, but we were just in the same place with like the same types of people. And so most of us were just like, these are my friends because this is where I'm at and this is who I'm with. But when we don't have like common things, like if you're not working with your friends, then making time to build relationships and then figure out where to make enough time to spend time with those people, like nobody knows how to do that, or nobody knows how to build new connections outside of common ground like school or sports or activities or things like that. I think in our age group, young parents with young kids, and I don't think it gets any easier the older your kids get, but you have less margin, you have less flexibility. Friendship has to look a little bit different. It has to be a little more flexible, more communication, things like I want to be there, but I just I can't because I have to make time to rest and keep our marriage healthy and disciple and be there for our kids too. And so there's not as much time to spend time with everybody outside of that, even when you want to. Okay, the other thing we've talked about is there are people not having good role models for this in their parents or mentors ahead of them, as far as having deep friendships in the church in these later stages in life, I guess middle stages of life, parenting, empty nester stages. And even back to what you said about people don't know how to go deep, they don't want to go deep, is because no one has ever shown them how to go deep.
Mm-hmm. I think another thing, though, is, in the challenge of going deep is, part of going deep is you share your struggles, and whether it is just a normal life, we have 3 kids and things are crazy struggle, or it's like a deeper sin issue, to get into a depth of vulnerability, you have to be open and share.
I feel like women have a hard time sometimes in that they try to bond with other women by degrading themselves, gossiping about other people, or complaining and sharing their complaints with one another. And there's never a point where it's edifying and building each other up and kind of encouraging each other away from the complaining or the degrading, but it's bonding over shared insecurities and struggles that never moves beyond those insecurities and struggles. And that's not healthy. And that's not a good foundation to build a friendship on. But I think women go there because they don't maybe it goes back to being self-conscious about, if you knew who I really was, then you wouldn't want to be my friend. Maybe. And they feel like those are safe places to go with other women where it's acceptable to talk badly about your physical appearance or complain about your kids or your husband. And other people will relate to that. But I don't think it's a good foundation to build a friendship on. What do you think guys do? What are the bad habits of friendship in guys?
I would think some of the bad habits in friendships with guys is just the lack of friendship in guys. Yeah, and I
They're
think
just
that's
loners.
that's one of the
Tendency
biggest things.
towards
Is
being a
the,
loner.
Yeah, the tendency towards, isolation and withdrawal and passivity are probably the biggest one with guys, where they're either not present, or if they're there, they're not present in mind. And then if they are there and they are present in mind, then not feeling the security or comfort to then be able to share and go deeper with much. I find that in most conversations, there's not really a shared. Normally, you would share the conversation that I've seen typical is people either find shared stances in politics. They find shared stances in who they blame for what the gas price is. They find it's always just like shared opinions about how you feel about something somewhat controversial in today's world.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, it's just, oh yeah, well I stand here. Oh yeah, me too. I stand there too. And then there's like this camaraderie over arbitrary stances that are totally unbiblical and have nothing to do with our relationship with Christ or our pursuit of others. And so I think that it tends to be just very arbitrary and random in the conversation, as opposed to, taking the conversations with a goal of what are we trying to get out of the friendship. And so I think the purpose of friendship is often lost.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think for women too. I think women probably get it more than men. I think what I see in guys is they are friends with whoever their wives are friends with, like their husbands, but they don't have a relationship with those husbands outside of hanging out in groups. And so there's never any deep, meaningful relationships with other men. And I actually think that's super harmful to men. Because all they have are casual relationships, which is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's what I would have said too.